Do not quote me on this. But otherwise said, done. Welcome to Carnival Animation, the show that talks about anime cartoons. This is Gustavo's hour, the guy that almost beat me in Toho 12.3, and then my hour.
Dude, you need to get alive. Dude, better yet, you need to get a girlfriend.
Hey, don't you need one too?
I'm in the same boat as you, buddy.
Aww.
To be honest.
I just want to mention this again. We are only like 2 more weeks left of school. I think 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks, is it?
Well, it's technically half a week.
Yeah, half a week.
But if we count the finals, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah, so pretty much this is pretty much like we count this as the last week of school, I think. I think like this is kind of like in general the last week of school, like regular school, and then next week would be finals.
Basically.
So pretty much for that, we're gonna take next week's off so that we can kind of focus with our finals. Gus needs to get a C+ to pass.
I think I have better grades than you this semester for the first time.
Oh wow! But yeah, otherwise and done. Welcome to Carnival Animation. I am the cosplayer known as Quiet, and I'm joined with Mr. Gustavo, who is trying to cosplay as nobody.
It's kind of funny because I'm searching for something right now. From all the texts that we have so far, like, dude, I can't find it.
So I kind of want to talk a little bit of this news here while Gus is doing himself. Doing what? Doing his little old self. So pretty much what I found on Anime News Network just recently is a controversial Oculus founder cosplayer as Metal Gear Solid 5's Quiet. If you were to ask me, I have no clue who the heck is Quiet since I do not play Metal Gear Solid.
Quiet is basically a side character on Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain.
Is she quiet as it is?
So basically, she never speaks. She doesn't dress up. The way you see in that photo is the way she actually dressed, like for the entire game.
All right. So Oculus founder Palmer Luckey has recently caused controversy with scandal rumors, lawsuits, and his departure from social media and Oculus. Now he's stirring things up more by attending anime conventions, cosplaying as Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5. Attendees of Machi Asobi, a convention in Tokushima, Japan, spotted Luckey in full costume. He wore a ribbed fishnets. Wait, what? And held Quiet's signature and a sniper rifle. Quiet is extremely popular in the Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain, which has sold more than 6 million copies. Pictures of cosplay appeared all over Twitter, which Luckey has not used in several months. Luckey said he has been cosplaying in secret for years. So, that's the most interesting thing, and it looks like we're going to close up this one. But yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I like that breeze.
Aww.
Killer Joy.
But yeah, that's kind of interesting to see, like, the Oculus founder actually cosplayed as Metal Gear Solid 5's Quiet, even though I have a lack of interest with the mainstream games.
I mean, technically, Metal Gear Solid 5 is from a Japanese company.
Yeah, but it's very well known in the company.
Well, technically it is, since it's kind of funny because I'm not sure if there's a rumor or if it's confirmed, but Metal Gear Solid, the first Metal Gear Solid, was supposed to be a simulator for the army.
What the heck is this? So, I have one weird, something called Tokyo Ghoul Cafe menu is horrifying.
Don't.
Yeah, I don't want. I'm looking at the thing right now. I'm wanting to throw up. Isn't it? Wait. Do you like Tokyo Ghoul?
I watched the first season, but I love it. That I want to keep watching it. I wouldn't go that far.
But yeah, maybe we'll link that article on Twitter and just not talk about it. So I watched Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan.
How was that?
I actually liked it.
Here's the thing. When it comes to Lupin, he has a charm that attracts people.
Yeah.
Because he's a thief, and whenever he steals stuff, you're like, oh, he's going to get caught up. He's going to get caught. And after a while, it's like, guess what? I didn't get caught. And after that, you learn. I feel like, at least from my opinion, you feel like you learn something when it comes like to thieves.
Yeah. So like after I saw like the Lupin, like I saw the first special because you said I had to watch the first one before watching the second one. I saw the first one. I was actually laughing at like how Lupin Third pretty much acted during the entire film. Special. I was just like, wow. So that's how Lupin the Third acts. Somehow like I like he like his how's his person? I forgot. I don't know how to best describe his personality. I think it's sporadic.
He's more like
Enthusiastic. I think.
I guess that's
And also, he breaks the fourth wall.
I guess that's the way. He's kind of basically Deadpool, but in an anime version, and a div.
I actually did enjoy it. I liked how Lupin was pretty much just like, he looks like he can be he's like a very smart character as well, knowing how to pretty much do everything. So yeah, Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan, which I think was released in 2009.
The original one.
Yeah.
The original one for Lupin the Third, as far as I know, is started like around the 60s.
Yeah, but no, like the crossover.
The crossover.
I think it was 2009.
I think it was 2010.
I'll look it up. And during like when Gus's little pre-show, I was looking up because I think the latest Yu-Gi-Oh was released.
Yeah, and that's where I'm planning to cover all the episodes that got released this week. The thing is that right now I'm trying to fix a few things. On the Twitter page, or change some bio from it.
Yeah, I was trying to change it, but I couldn't think of anything very funny. Oh yeah, 2009. I was right.
There you go. Anyways, now that I fixed everything,
I was gonna say,
not fixed, but arranged.
I want to kind of start our little anime impressions off first. So pretty much, I think by the time we're on air, Iromanga Sensei is already out, right?
Yeah.
So last week's episode of Iromanga Sensei.
Okay,
I'm gonna start this off here. The intro alone, I was very questioning so far. I liked the episode because we got a lot of character development coming from Elf. We got some development out of her, but what questioned me the most was the beginning scene in which like what's the sister's name again? Iromanga?
That's her pen name.
I'll just call her by her pen name for that.
I think Seguru. I think that's her name.
Let me look it up.
If I'm not mistaken.
So what we learned from the opening is just like
Sagiri.
Sagiri. Okay. So what we learn, Sagiri. It's pretty much I'm in love with somebody, and I'm just like.
That's a funny thing because I'm looking at the Twitter post, right, and that's what exactly I put in it. But honestly, I feel like this week's episode bring more character development for a different character instead of the main two protagonists.
Okay.
Because Manga Sensei, Elf Yamada Sensei is more like a side character more than a part of the protagonist kind of deal.
Wait, who? Sagiri? Or
Elf.
Oh, the elf. Yamada.
Elf is basically a side character.
Yeah.
And I feel like she got somewhat character development, and also we get to see another rival, especially the rival that is working in the same company as Izumi Sensei. I think you see it I think it's like near the end of the episode.
Yeah.
The girl in the kimono. I feel like she's going to be a rival for Izumi Sensei. But I can't really tell for sure. I think I really kind of give a spoiler out there in reality, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he's trying to figure out why or who Sagiri likes. So he had a conversation and he's like, hey, I want to polish the book that I wrote, right? So if you... and she's like, hey, maybe you should rearrange the whole thing. That way it doesn't look like a love letter.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I found it very interesting, to say the least, and to kind of go back into the point of what I was mentioning earlier, like the fact that Sagiri's like, I'm in love with somebody. I'm feeling like... Because you said like this anime is almost like another anime that you watch called Orimo.
I haven't seen it.
Or like it has like the plot, because I think Orimo had the same kind of plot details.
From what I hear is that that's how it is because it's part of the same author.
And plus, since I almost got kind of spoiled with from I think one of the guys people that read the book, or manga the book. It's like that the reason that or the fact that she said I'm in love with somebody had me going to the point of saying she's in love with the brother, isn't she?
I mean, it makes sense because I mean she's the only person that she's like the closest to.
Mm-hmm.
If we speak like, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because if we put it in a perspective of saying, hey, she's in love with somebody who is part of her viewers, that wouldn't make sense, or it would make sense according to her age, because when you are young, it's difficult to tell what is what's the meaning of, let's say, quote unquote love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I think that's the impression she gave to him, because hey, I'm in love with someone, but she didn't say who. And my opinion, at least, he was thinking like, hey, he's in love with one of the viewers.
All right. I'm actually just looking up the thing that because she always stays in her room. I don't know how.
Hikikomori.
Yeah, I think that is Hikikomori.
Okay, hikikomori is basically a shut-in person who
Yeah.
doesn't leave the room. They pretty much live out of somebody else. For example, in Japan, it's actually a really, really common thing. Uh, for like a young, probably like people around our age.
Wait, quick question. Did we do like wasn't there like what's it called on Anime News Network an Ant Man about this?
There was.
Okay, I think that's the one like where I couldn't think of an answer or a conclude thing.
Oh yeah, by the way, May 9, Happy Piccolo's Day, even though we're late for that.
Wait, what? May 9th is what?
Yeah, May 9th, Happy Piccolo Day from Dragon Ball Z.
Happy Pickle Day?
Piccolo.
Oh, that said Pickle Day. I thought you said Pickle Day for some reason. Because last week was a comic book day. I think that's what it was.
There it was.
Now this past weekend was Pickle Day.
For Boku no Hero Academia, and I think the only thing that coming the most is well, it's just the fact I completely forgot his name, but the guy who basically can control ice and fire on his quirk had like a serious talk with I think it's okay, I forgot his name. Okay, anyways, with the protagonist who has one for all, saying, "Hey, I see you as a rival,
Mm.
and I don't plan to lose you, right?"
Okay.
So he's like, I don't know what you're planning to do later on, but, well, it's not going anyway. Okay, let me paraphrase that.
Uh,
What?
oh no, I was trying because you were not talking, so I was just like I might have to talk a little.
No, I'm thinking of the phrasing.
Yeah, but you were like kind of silent, so I'm talking a little bit. All right.
He's like, I see you as a rival, but I don't want to use my right hand because, well, my right hand because, no, left hand. My bad. Saying I don't plan to use my left hand because I feel like I hate my left hand. I feel like my dad used my mom, right? He used to get a powerful son who has a lot of quirk abilities. Technically, his dad has the fire quirk, and that's why he hate using his fire quirk. I feel like on this one we get more development on the side characters more than the main character, because I mean we learn some of the one of the backstories of one of his classmates,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is kind of cool, to be honest. I mean, I think that's, I feel like sometimes some animes doesn't really give that much character development, especially with side characters.
Okay.
For Geno Guardian, Suigin basically, Ray got kidnapped. Suigin tried to rescue or chase the kidnappers, and what?
Oh no, on my little thing, I'm just getting messages on my Facebook.
Okay. Ray got kidnapped, so Swing decided to go and rescue her. Right? He was like, "Hey, if I can." Well, but before that, he was like, "Hey, if she can pay that, if she doesn't have money, I will pay you." Right? I will pay you the amount of money that I have because apparently he earned a lot of money thanks to his grandpa, who he was the adoptive father for Ray. So Swiggy went to grab the phone and tried to see if there was a method of converting in-game money to real life money, but he couldn't. So after he noticed that basically that kidnappers drop off, uh, he said, "Hey, I'm going to follow them. I'm going to rescue her, right?" So he grabbed his bag and he starts chasing them, even on during the freeway. And after that, she get kidnapped again, uh, from some sort of in-game character. Somehow, some reason I don't know how. Like I don't know how to explain this. So he decided to go into the game. I mean, in a way, I feel like this is going to be a store online kind of deal.
Oh
Now that I think
no!
about
Wait,
it,
General Guardian.
it's not like a harem kind of style.
Boo.
At least I mean, at least I'm trying to keep a positive mind. Like, hey, this is not going to be a harem anime, right? This is going to be just a regular anime that says, hey, I'm here, have fun with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to give that much fan service or trying to act like a douche.
Bitch.
So yeah, that's how I feel basically.
Okay. Do you watch the latest episode of Renai Bookwind?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
Well, it was pretty much a beach episode.
I know.
I can't really say, hey, this episode was amazing because I mean, beach episode has been out there for a while,
Yeah, that's kind of true.
and I don't really put those kind of episodes in like the highest place on my opinion
Uh-huh.
because I mean it's good, right, for fan service, but it depends how you portray the thing, right?
Yeah, and also like with Renai Bokuin, I think this anime is also trying to do because like I do have an anime called Hyperdimension to Tune You Up ready for the next hour. I feel like you really have to really pay attention because there's references everywhere in that anime.
There is a couple reference here and there. I won't deny the fact about that.
Can we say like there's one Can we say one reference?
I think they'll be okay with it.
Yeah, because it's actually not spoilers. So I think the reference that they made in the latest episode of Renai Bokuin is, it was a Pokemon game, but I don't know which kind of Pokemon they were kind of referencing. I don't know if they're referencing like, like the Pokemon Go, like where you catch Pokemon where on the train, or they play Pokemon like on the phone or DS, whatever.
I think you mean the Game Boy.
Yeah, but I feel like cause like she has like what the Love Phone now. I think she was playing on she was doing like that.
I also I think they have a reference for the Vita or the PSP.
Maybe.
Anyways, going so for Renai's book, I mean, it was just a beach episode. They fought against the penguin again, which I think is kind of cool, but I feel like it's like an overdone thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just something that I feel like it was something that it shouldn't be there.
What, the beach episode?
No, the fight with the penguin.
Oh. I was like, so what is this mythical beast that is very scary and it's a penguin? I'm just like, okay.
I mean, that penguin appears on like episode
I think
2, 3, I think.
I think 2 or 3. But it's kind of funny because like they don't understand it, but it's like we understand it. It's like, that's what his eyes are saying.
Yeah, like, what are you trying to tell me, right?
It's like, to get off kind of a little bit, if you actually watch like it was like some Detective Conan, like, there's fan subs.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them actually had like, like when they go on like the little break, when they close that, whatever that door is.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I think I don't know if it's in the DVDs or not. It's like it showcases like, oh, hey, if you're watching this, you've been ripped off. I'm just like, good money.
Anyways, for recreators, Basically, we got a huge
Mecha.
mecha,
Um,
huge robot, a giant robot, basically.
I'm thinking of that one weird movie I saw as a kid about a robot and a young kid.
And it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly like how this new character is like, oh, you want to capture me? I have this huge, this huge robot, and it just in the army shows up, and they're like, okay, we're here to capture them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, oh, you're here to capture me? Guess what? Mecha activate. Take the house. We're out. That's how I felt, basically.
Jiminy Christmas.
That's how I felt, right?
Uh-huh.
But overall, that didn't happen. I mean, I was
Okay.
expecting that, which I think would be funny, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But um, they basically ended up meeting with
The actual creators.
they actually has happened already.
What?
Meteor creator, which is the girl with that white hair, her creator passed away, so she couldn't meet her creator. Um, I forgot her name, but she's like the red hair girl. I actually met both of her creators, the artist and the writer, which I think is kind of cool. And from when it comes to the manga guy, which is Ryu Kanoja, he was something interesting. I just love how they describe the characters, right? But going back to that thing, I'm not getting off track. The way that Rio, after that, they met up with I think I don't want to say the council, but the JSDF, which is kind of like the Japanese Staff Defense Force. They had a meeting with like the heads of that, which is like kind of like the government kind of deal,
Okay.
and they were like, "Hey, we want to know what's going on here, right?" So Mr. explains everything on what's going on, and they were like, "Okay, so you owe us at least 100 million gens because you stole rocket launchers."
Did you say gems or yen?
Gen. Gen.
It's like saying like Orlando Oreo or audio.
I got him audio because it's funny.
I can't. You see, this is one of my things I can't understand you.
Anyways, um, so they're going to get help by the government, which I think is super cool.
Uh-huh.
That they're going to have a legal status in Japan while all those events are portraying, right?
Uh-huh.
They learned that there are more creations that are trying to change their universe and stuff like that, which I think is kind of cool. And I feel like in some point there's going to be a climatic fight that solves everything. But everything depends on how things turns out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, going now starting with the Attack on Titans season 2.
Shingeki no Kyojin, or insert name that should not be mentioned.
Ymir basically, I feel like she helped humanity, but in the loss of basically herself, her arm and her leg, right? Well, I'm just going to call him Vermont because I forgot his name. Vermont and the Colossal Titan and the Armor Titan talked to, like, there was a lot of communications on this episode between Eren and the Colossal Titan, and the Colossal Titan say, "Hey, I am the Colossal Titan, and this guy is no wait, I'm the Armor Titan, and this guy is the Colossal Titan, and we're planning to we're planning to go back home, and we want you to go with us." And he's like, "Wait," and everyone was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" Like, dude, I think you hit your head quite hard, right? Like, I don't know what you mean. No, he's like, I don't get you, dude. Like we are this, so we're asking you to go home with us, or we can destroy the wall. So Mikasa ended up just going into action and says, "Hey, I cut basically your neck off, and I'm going to attack you." So and they end up just turning into Titans, and that's where the episode ends. But I feel like this episode was heavily on talking more than action scenes, which I think is kind of cool because we learned some stuff like, oh, Jamie, who is Historia. Historia is part of Historia is basically Christina, Christy. I'm t- and Historia is part of those high noble people, which I assume is like part of the small circle of the wall, or she could be part of the. Okay, I'm just going to keep it like that because I don't really want to spoil it for anybody who's not reading the manga.
Spoil, spoil, spoil.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Uh, Going next is the King Avatar.
King Arthur.
The
Wait.
King Avatar.
I keep thinking of King Arthur for some reason when I hear your English.
The King Avatar. King Avatar.
I can never understand your English no more.
You don't have to understand that. You have to go with it.
Well,
Anyways, to be honest, I feel like on this week's episode, they were sharing more of Su Mushang, um, screen time more than anything else. Because I mean, um, K is bringing more pro players to the team without them realizing, hey, we're using. I'm playing with my friends who are pro players currently, and well, and the guy who took over his place was trying to see what he was trying to pull off, right? So he decided to create a new character and be like, "Hey, boss, how you doing?" Right? Trying to act differently from the way he normally act. And he's like, "Hey, how you been?" Yada yada yada. They talk. They play together against a few raids. Um, Kay was like, "Hey, I know who you are, right? You can't fool me because I'm the one who teach you everything.
okay.
I'm the one who teach you how to maneuver or have a fast-paced key pressing." So he was aware that it was him all the time, but he just kept quiet
All right.
and say, "Hey, you have this is how I feel basically. You have two options. You can keep playing with us and doing the tournaments, or you can stop playing with us. This will never go to the public. You can improve in your tournaments." That's how I feel basically. Just that's my own perspective of how things turns out to be.
All right. So I'm gonna kind of interrupt here. I think when we were in the car, I think you wanted to kind of do something a little bit because like you were doing like an hour thing,
Yeah,
but you kind of want to do like every 15-minute type of thing.
just bring out some news every 50 minutes. I
And
feel like.
and it's past the 15-minute mark.
So you want to give some
I
news?
already gave my news. You little. Alrighty. So as me and Gus are gonna fight over news. There was actually an article I read past just to kind of take a little time away. Not the controversial Oculus founder. That's I already read. I do not want to look at that again because I want to throw up. Maybe. But what's rather interesting over on Anime News Network, and I'm actually going to actually go on Twitter for the first time in my life, and kind of share this little tweet or this little article that was happening. Fairy Tail has 2 more manga volumes left in its arsenal before they completely announce it as ending. To anybody that doesn't know, the creator Hiro Mashima, who also created another anime called Rave, or as we call here in America, Rave Master, has stated that Fairy Tail will be ending very soon. Right now, Fairy Tail actually has a movie now called, I think it's A Dragon's Cry, which I don't think has anything to do with like the main plot, but with this upcoming or with the last two volumes coming out, it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how Fairy Tail is gonna be ending its volume. I mean, I think they've been going for 523 chapters now.
Probably. I don't really keep track of Fairy Tail, to be
I
honest.
actually do because that was actually the anime that brought me back into anime watching. But yeah, I really can't. I really can't wait to see like what's gonna end Fairy Tail since over on Anime News Network, I'm actually gonna log on to Twitter and kind of share this little article.
Ha
And
ha ha ha. Anyways, Black Clover OVA got released this week.
Black Cover,
But Black Clover.
Black Clover. Okay.
Sorry, I keep saying cover for
You
some reason.
English.
It's not that I'm like misreading this. It's just my own mistake.
I put black cover.
See what I mean? It's not something what you hear normally. So you see what I mean, right? It's not something that you normally type. Hey, Black Clover.
Okay, I heard that stumble too. I picked it up.
But it's not something that you read normally,
Yeah.
right? So to be honest, I feel like the animation was kind of choppy for this OVA,
Mm-hmm.
but I personally like how the story kind of turns out to be. I mean, it has a lot of shonen tropes, like it has a lot of shonen references, like uh like the guy, like a lot of people. Well, I'm just gonna put it like this: a lot of people assimilate this show with Naruto, but or to be more exact, the manga. But in reality, it's more like a shonen kind of deal because if we think about it, the will to improve themselves are in every single shonen anime. We've seen that on Boku no Hero. We've seen that on I don't know. I think it's I want to say Shingeki no Kyojin, but I don't think that's a really shonen kind of deal. Bleach, Naruto, Fairy Tail, because let's be honest, Fairy Tail is like, hey, if I can defeat this guy, I'm going to be training out, right? I'm going to be working myself to be the person I want to be, and that's how I feel like. And when he received his book Clover, which is the fifth Clover, it's like, oh, he has a demon inside him, which a lot of people simulate that with Naruto. I mean, I can't really say, keep referring that, hey, this is what a shonen anime is. True, if you see Naruto a lot, then you're going to get, you might end up comparing this to Naruto and say, hey, Naruto is better. This show is bad, right? This is just a rip-off of Naruto. But from my perspective of somebody who's trying to watch all kind of genres, I don't feel like this is like a copy and paste Naruto. I just feel like this show is more like, hey, this is a shonen a manga or anime, OVA, whatever you want to call it, and this is how we do things.
All right.
I was trying to talk about a movie that I saw.
Kono Kaiichi. Did I get it right?
That's next week,
Aww.
but apparently there's no show next week
Oh yeah.
because Josh wants to have a break for his finals.
I want you to get ready for your finals too.
I not really.
Oh.
I don't really need to do that. Refresh it.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if that's coming from.
Anyways, I'm under putting this movie on hold. If I finish with all the catch up on the animes. For Adam, the beginning. Here's the thing: genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. Thomas Edison. For this week's episode, we pretty much were making udon, which is like a traditional soup from Japan. And I personally like that concept. Like, hey, if we're going to make udon, we have no idea how to make them, right? But we're going to store all the recipes into this on A106, and we're going to be using his ability to punch in the ground, which is like a 3,000 level of force, or at 1,000 horse power level. But we're going to reduce that because we don't want to break the table. That way we can make udon. But I think that the most interesting thing from this week's episode is like, hey, there's like a shady business happening, right? And there's this memory kind of deal that has a lot of info about us, probably some secure stuff. And if we're going to make this deal, we have to do it in a public place. And during that deal, they get basically caught, and they had to run away. They went to the school campus because the school campus is having like how can I say this? Like, it's not like a fair. It's more like, you know what I mean, right? When the school is like having like an event, and they have like a lot of stands in it. How you call it?
Like if it's like an event and there's like a lot of stands.
Yeah, I completely forgot the name of it.
Does it like have like games and such?
It's like basically activities be made by the students. Okay, I'm just gonna put it like that. It's just activities that students are.
It sounds familiar.
Like I've seen it in a lot of animes, but I completely forgot how it's called.
Student club activity.
No. Okay, let's put it like let's forget about it. Anyways, going back to that thing. So they went there. They pretty much got captured by A16. A106, and they were like, okay, we're going to send this guy to prison or something like that, because he was searching all over the place for that memory, and they couldn't find it. He couldn't find it, so he ended up just got chased by a lot of students, because it's like, hey, this is going to be in one of these bags. So he put on like some sort of robot suit and start searching for places. That way he can find it. Eventually he got arrested, like a previous day. So that's pretty much it. For the from Grimoire of Zero, the people are, well, the village people got burned by a mysterious identity, which is known as 13. 13 is basically one of the men that left the case from where Zero is, because he's searching for the Grimoire of Zero, but he's considered a traitor. And the thing is, like, apparently from whenever you call a witch name, you're going to appear in front of him, right? The guys were keep saying, hey, 13 this, 13 that. Well, we're searching around the place. When was searching, that was like almost by the end of the episode. But during the episode, they were looking at the village. They were talking about like what happened here, what's going on here, right? Who is the creator of this atrocity, right? So eventually they get into the church, and they start going downstairs and thinking like, hey, we finally found the Grimoire. And they couldn't find it. The Grimoire was gone. But during the search on the rooms, they found an old guy. He explained all the whole situation, like, hey, a guy came here and he was like, quote unquote, killing the residents of the village. And I had myself, while I was being persecuted by the witches, but he didn't find me. But I was bleeding quite badly. So when you guys found me, well, and that's pretty much the whole thing. So the kid was trying to save the old guy, but he couldn't. That old guy just passed away, unfortunately. And that's where 13 came up. Like, hey, what about 13 this? What about 13 that? And somehow they forced summon. I think it was a demon or something like that. That 13 is hold off, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
And when it comes to anonymous noise or Pokemon K
Okay.
noise,
Okay.
I personally like the story, like this week's episode, more than the previous episodes.
Mhm.
Because here's the thing, I honestly was thinking of dropping the show, like legitimate thinking about it, because I feel like it was more like an audio test more than anything else. Uh, but overall, this week's episode is like, hey, Alice is the new singer for In No Time Hurry. I think that's the name of the band. Um, so they decided to be like, hey, guess what? We're going to play our first solo, but you're still going to your auditions, right? So they decided to go to the auditions. Like, hey,
Do you know why I actually pulled my mic away from you just to see like what's going on? So to anybody that doesn't know, there's actually another thing that's live streaming right now on the Voice of Stockton's Facebook page right now. I went on and I just see this. I was like, awesome. So yeah. Otherwise, and then we have 2 more minutes before we hit up our next little. I think it's every 15-minute news.
yeah, just give me another 2 minutes.
I know. I was gonna say every 15 minutes, which was a thing back in high school. I had to go for.
Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much what happens during the show. She eventually failed, but she met up with Momo. Momo eventually
Mamo.
eventually got fed up of the situation. So he's like, okay, you are not part of this. You fail. You fail at the auditions. She got really sad. And Jusu showed up in a taxi and said, hey, I'm here for you. Right? When they met up, she was crying. She was running. So they were like, okay, we gotta go. Unfortunately, there's no time for consolation, right? Obviously, those two, he felt bad for her because she was crying, and so they decided to go to the concert that they were having hold. So they dressed up, they went there, and they stopped playing. I was just thinking, hey, if I keep playing, maybe this, if I keep singing, the songs I sing might end up reaching mom at some point. So she started singing, and during the concert, Momo saw her, and he's like, she's a monster. Because at least on musician wise, he feels like she's a monster because she doesn't have control on the way she sings, or doesn't have like a way to do it. I don't know, like, since I'm not really into musician kind of deal stuff, so I don't really know what they are actually planning to portray on there.
All right.
When it comes to Akasha Records, the research of Divine Wisdom is, I feel like it's making a bold move by putting the queens at risk, right? And the good thing is that once the whole tournament happens, they were like, hey, unfortunately Glenn Sensei is not around, but I'm here to see what's going on. I'm here to get the prize. While Glenn Sensei was pretty much running away from the Imperial Guards. But after like they won and everything, the tournament, during the time they were like, hey, I'm here to get the prize. They revealed that they weren't the Glenn Sensei was in the tournament the whole time. It was just how can I say this? it was more like I want to say a substitute appearance.
Okay.
They changed appearance to be more exact for the people who was helping Glenn Sensei to get back to the tournament.
Okay.
And the head professor, which I think is like number 13, um, make a barrier explaining the whole situation. And they were like, okay, are you here to, like, sorry, I got brain fart right there.
Brain fart.
They were like, hey, are you here to rescue the queen or what? And the queen was like, I ordered you to kill Rumia. Rumia is her daughter, but she after they tried to kill her, she changed her name and everything. She's not her daughter. She's just Rumia, someone who got adopted by a 60 family. So the guard was like, okay, I'm going to be doing this, right? And the necklace during the fight, Glenn realized that the necklace she was wearing was basically a cursed necklace. If the wearer say something about it, mentions anything about the necklace, or if the necklace is removed from the host, the host is going to or the wearer is going to be killed. But the good thing is that Glenn is part of the full arcana. Basically, he um, stops or destroy any magical field in a specific range of in a specific range, which I think is kind of cool, and that's how the queen got saved. But overall, all the things that roommate heard from her mother, that she should have been dead and stuff like that, wasn't a real thing. It was more like it was worse that it was being put up. And after the necklace was gone, she's like, I'm sorry that all this happens to you. Um, I know this shouldn't be happening, and I feel super, super bad. I never want this to happen. Which I think it was a really, really cool moment, at least in my opinion, for that episode. So yeah,
Alright.
hit it on the news, buddy.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be. I thought we were gonna rotate each news. You little. Well, I'm just gonna do gaming news. So, even though we're pretty much anime cartoons, but at the same time, I kind of like to want to throw a little gaming from time to time. So, Intai Creature to announce 2 new Switch titles at the Bit Summer 2017. In March, Intai Creatures released its first title for the Switch in the form of Blaster Master Zero at the 5th Bit Summer in Kyoto on May 20 and 21st. The developers plan to announce 2 more Switch titles Intai Creatures confirmed during the Tokyo Sandbox 27 Develop Summer on May 10th. The studio used the same event to confirm the total sales of the Switch version of Blaster Master Zero have topped 80,000. Intai Creatures' previous developments include Azora Striker Gunvolt and Gal Gun series. It also developed Mighty no 9.
Anyways, going back to the news or updates or recap, whichever you want to call it.
I'm gonna turn up my mic a little bit.
Suka Suka, basically, what?
It was they were the creators of Mighty no 9.
Anyways, Suka Suka. Here's a quote: "No matter who I'm faced with, I just don't want to accept anything but the stuff I can accept." I still don't know what it means. But overall, the episode was interesting on how they were saying, hey, uncle, which is in reality not her uncle, but it's more like kind of like, hey, I'm just going to call you uncle. So told him that her dad was getting targeted by a specific gang, and the guy who's in charge of the girl said, hey, I'm not really interested of this. I don't really deal with this. I don't care about it, so don't talk to me about it. So they started walking around public places, stuff like that, eating food, learning about the place or the Iceland. uh, because the boat that they were supposed to take was going to be late. It's coming like around in the night, let's say, on the afternoon. So they have like time to spare. So after walking around, the protector of the girls realized, hey, we're getting followed. I think it's time to set up the bait. So he asked her, hey, is there any place that people doesn't really go that often? So they went near a well. And during that time, the gang shows up, say, hey, sorry to kill your moment, or ruin your moment, to be more exact. But we want that girl. So if you don't give us that girl peacefully, all of you are going to be in danger. So he's like, okay, then guess what? So he pretty much used his hand as a gun and say bang, and every character who was part of the gang was falling one by one, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't really make sense, right? There should be at least another character with a rifle.
Mm.
But the thing is that I couldn't understand was, if there's another character with a rifle, is he doing that without making a noise? And after all the characters were down, they were like, okay, so sorry, dude, but you are not capturing nobody today. And then the police shows up, they capture them, they got arrested, and they just continue with their lives.
Yeah. Happy ending.
Later on, almost at the end of the episode, one of the girls who is taken care of, I told him, I know what you did. I watched you close enough to know what's going on. And she said, you used a coin, right? So whenever he was saying bang, he was tossing them a coin.
All right.
And that's how he defeated every single character.
Just bang. All right.
Anyways, continue with the Royal Tutor.
Oh, I thought that was the one earlier with that was King Arthur.
So so Prince Licht, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Licht, works in a cafe, and his dad wasn't agreeing on that because he said, "Hey, think about your place in the royal hair on the royal palace. If something bad happens or something unfortunate happens, you will not be able to ascend to the throne." And I didn't want that to happen. He's like, so Licht. So the prince said, "Hey, I like this place. I want to work in this place, so I'm going to stay in this place." And so the prince ran away from his home and went to the cafe. Then, like a couple hours or minutes, the dad and the royal tutor shows up, and that guy who's the owner of the coffee shop said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And after like to the dad was like, "Hey, is it okay if I start working here with you guys?" He's like, "Just for a couple hours." He's like, "Okay." So he started working with them for a couple hours, and the prince was like, "No way, my dad can pull this off, right?" So after Prince seeing the dad working out, he's like, "Okay, I think my dad can pull this off." Because the dad can speak like multiple languages, is polite, and I think he can. Like, I'm not sure about his past, but I think he has done that before, so I'm not really sure. This is my own speculation. I don't really know, like, if that's the original source is a manga or a light novel, so I'm not reading anything like that. Um, but overall, I'm like, okay, this is impressive. I like this. And when it comes to Sakura Quest, wait,
Wait, what? Sakura's Quest?
when it comes to Boruto, basically it's
Boruto.
Burrito.
Ah, burrito.
Uh, Basically, the sensei bugs doesn't really enjoy the water. They know what to do. They know how to fight because under the water. Because I mean, the sensei taught them, right? Or not taught them, but when. So here's I think this is how it works when it comes to bugs. If something goes down and there's at least one sole survivor of that population and lays an egg, uh, then the babies that bug has is going to be immune to that I don't know, like that atmosphere, right? So I think it's kind of cool of that. And when it comes to this episode, Mitsuki, Boruto, and I forgot his name, but basically the three kids ended up fighting the sensei because he was being controlled also. Um, but they didn't know what to do, and since they were in the middle of the forest, they can't leave the forest if before they get detected or something like that. So they stay in the forest. They decided to fighting there, and they were like, okay, let's make a plan out of this. So they make a elaborate plan, and eventually they rescue the sensei, but under a cause of Mitsuki almost die under the water because the plan it was like, hey, Boruto, you're supposed to be a bait. You go there, pretend to fight against a professor. Um, Shikamaru's kid, I think that's his name, don't quote me on it, decided to use his shadow technique. That way, he can that way he can be used as a bait also. But when but sorry, when the sensei was tossed in the water, Mitsuki used his ability to grow his arm and capture him. So they went underwater. He got electrocuted because Mitsuki has I think the electric jitsu. I don't know.
I have no clue what the jutsus are anymore because I've stopped watching Naruto.
Like Naruto.
Do I have to watch the original Naruto to get into Boruto?
Not really. I mean, if there's some things that doesn't really explain about some stuff. I mean, there's some things that for like fans are there for a long time. They are known about it, but new fans, I think some of that reference I'm not planning to understand them, like myself.
All right, you want to go on a break now because we're nearing our hour time.
Okay, I'm just going to close with this one, which is for at least my
Your favorite anime?
I think it has to be my favorite from this season so far, which is Suki Gakire or As the Moon, so beautiful.
Okay.
I personally, for this on this episode, Mizuno and Asumi were preparing for the competition, and they were like, "Okay, let's make a promise, right?" Because Asumi got a call from a novel company that one he participated for, and they were like, "Hey, we need you, right? We need to talk to you and see we need to talk to you about your book." So he's like, "Okay, I'll be there." So he talked to his girlfriend Mizuno, and they were like, "Okay, let's make a promise, and let's do our best." But unfortunately, Mizuno failed his career, her race, and her time was worse than before. Well, Asumi, he couldn't made it for his book, so the editor, I think that's how they call him, told him, "Hey, uh, I think you can do better on a light novel perspective more than a novel. And plus, we don't really make that much money. If I need to be honest about it. So honestly, like, so after that, they talk to each other. They're like, "Hey, I understand that this happened, so what else, right? Let's just try our best next time. And Mizuno's best friend told her, "Hey, I like your boyfriend." And that was like last episode. So she asked her sister, "Hey, what happened if your best friend likes your boyfriend?" She's like, "No, that's not even possible. That's like the elder sister." She's like, "You don't, you better stay away from her." She's like, "Well, I like my friends, right?" She's like, "I don't see that possible."
Alright.
So the elder sister was like, "You should break up with your friendship." And she's like, "I'm not planning to do that." So they talk to each other. Mizuno and her best friend talk to each other, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, I understand that you guys are dating, right? At least let me tell him how I feel, and just be done with it." And that's how the episode is done. If you want to hit the break now.
Alright. We'll be right back.
KXVS on 92 point.
Revving up your engines on the Carnival Animations on KXVS, the voice of Stockton. My name is Josh Rago. I'm now your host for the second hour here, joined by my lovely little assistant, the guy who can never beat me in tow, 12.3 still. How do you do?
You guys stop sniffing the stuff, buddy.
Alright, so...
Candy is not the answer, okay?
For some reason, I feel like you were trying to do a Brandon Rogers type of thing, because Will made me watch some of his videos this past weekend, or a couple while ago.
I never seen Brandon Rogers.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Alright, so welcome back to Carnival Animations, the second hour here. It's funny, whenever like Gus drinks his little coffee, he's supposed to have a lot of energy, but he doesn't have energy.
It's funny. That's true. I won't deny the thing about that. I think the most interesting thing out of all this is that like normally like sitting around you guys, I feel like I'm mentally unstable. So whenever I drink coffee, I'm like, okay, I feel relaxed. I feel just cool, dude. No problem, dude.
Okay, so...
Throw me in the punches, dude. I can deal with it.
Okay.
I don't mean physically wise.
Hyperdimension Neptunia, the animation. So to anybody that doesn't know the animation, it's pretty much means it's based on a video game. I think that's what most animes are on.
Oh yeah, I just want to reference one thing. If you guys haven't, follow us on Twitter.
At Carnival Animates.
Because normally, when it comes like to catch up episodes, like I don't really have time because sometimes I take like too long describing one thing,
Okay.
or sometimes we have a conversation about it.
I'm gonna say this now. For the most part, I'll be posting Twitter news on anime news, and you'll be posting your impressions. I don't know. I feel like that's how I'll do. Cause I've been posting it. I'll be posting.
You
anime.
barely post something.
Forget you. I'm gonna start doing some. Soon.
Anyways, going back to the topic. So if you guys want, if you guys want to tweet at us or talk to us, you guys can do that. I normally keeping updated on Twitter. So if you guys, I'm always basically on Twitter. Well, not all the time, but whenever somebody like tweet at us or something.
Find us in Delta College. There you go.
So if you guys want to talk to us, ask questions or anything related to about anime or cartoons, then you guys basically can tweet at us there. My Carnival Animate.
Yes, Carnival Animate. There's a Facebook page called Carnival Animation,
which is not available to be open for viewers.
I had it open, maybe. Who knows? So let's get back onto topic here. Hyperdimension Neptunia Animation. It was created by Mako. I think her name is Mizuno Naoko, and it's actually kind of funny why she actually created the video game series. To say the first, it states here over on Anime Amino Apps. The reason why she made the video game series is that there was no games on the market that actually dealt with or parodied the gaming industry itself. I found that very intriguing. Like, there were no other games at the time before Neptunia was released that was parodying the game industry, and I kind of like that little thing. At the time, characters that changed took on different forms were really popular, but there were none other than cute girls. That's actually kind of interesting to say the least. I actually found that very,
Intriguing.
very intriguing. And all these little things. So pretty much Hyperdimension Neptunia is pretty much by far one of my favorite video games of all time, as well as being my favorite anime of all time. Since, to kind of best explain it, they make a lot of parodies, they make a lot of references, and it's just filled with fourth wall jokes. Like, does anybody remember the Sony hacking?
You mean Lizard Squad?
Huh?
The Lizard Squad?
No, Anonymous.
Oh, never mind.
Like when Anonymous hacked Sony, they referenced that in Neptunia. I was just like, wow, Neptunia, you actually did it. And it's also kind of funny because I don't know what's going on, but I think Nintendo announced they were going to do like a Nintendo theme park. Neptunia did it first with Super Nintendo Land. I was just like, okay, I see what they're trying to maybe do here. But overall said, like Hyperdimension Neptunia, the animation, it's pretty much, if you have never played the video games, you're not gonna know what's gonna happen in this anime, because you really don't get like many of the gags and the jokes that it is, unless you are like a big fan of video games like I am and Mr. Gustavo here. I mean, have you seen this guy play? He's playing Assassin's Creed 3 on his laptop.
I'm actually looking at the news.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, because you played Assassin's Creed 3 on your laptop.
I play a lot of games.
Yeah, but you played Assassin's Creed this past, I think, a while ago.
It's been a while since I played like Assassin's Creed. I've been playing a lot of chess, to be honest.
Aww, that's so cute.
Hey, at least I'm smarter than you.
Hey, who beat you like 10 times in Toho?
Hey, video games is different from chess.
I still beat you.
I think I can beat you in chess, actually.
Yes, because I don't play chess. I can beat almost anybody in my Mario Tennis and my Toho game. Mainly.
Oh, go for you.
I do kind of want to mention this again. We're only 2 weeks left of our spring classes.
Yeah, totally. Summer.
Spring, and with the fall coming semester.
Summer.
With the coming fall semester.
Summer.
I know it's summer, but I'm fall. With the
I'm
fall.
I'm going for summer classes.
Yeah. But I won't be in. But like for the fall semester.
I know.
But for the fall, to kind of finish my own sentence here, you little monkey.
I'm not a monkey. You're a monkey.
I want to hurt you.
I love you too.
For the coming fall. I've said this already. I can't wait for the new faces to show up in Delta College, because they're gonna see my other personality, not this one, but the outside one. To which you already know my character outside of this place.
Good thing I'm going to be working on the fall semester.
Aww, that's cute. But yeah. Otherwise, and then I know you actually played Rebirth 1. You actually had Rebirth 1 on your Vita.
I play like a 5 minutes of it.
You little thing.
I haven't get to it.
But yeah. Otherwise, said Hyperdimension Neptunia, the animation. I absolutely love this series. It's by far on my top 10 favorite shows of all time. Second being My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, and I think third would pretty much be Persona 4 the animation. Maybe I have to rewatch Persona 4 the animation, because it's been a long time since I've seen Persona 4 the animation. And then after that, I'll go get Persona 5 before Gus does.
Totally.
I'm gonna get Persona 5, and it's gonna be amazing. You know what's funny? I like watching people on YouTube like play the game blind. It's funny.
I see.
But yeah, otherwise I'm done. Hyperdimension Neptunia, the animation is a very fun anime. After years of fruitless war between the four realms of game industry, Planetoon, Last Station, Louis, and Leanbox over share energy, the sort of the strength based on how much their people have faith in their goddesses, the four CPUs that rule over them have finally signed a friendship treaty. And pretty much, I'm just gonna say this now, the whole 12 episodes are very random, and it's all what you would expect from a Neptunia franchise. The series does get a little, I forget, is it the anime trope to get like a little dark on the third episode? Or did you get a little actiony at the third episode?
I think it depends on the anime style.
Yeah.
Or the genre, to be more exact. Because for example, Black Clover. I was talking about Black Clover last hour.
Did you say Black Clover or Black Cover?
Black Clover.
Okay, but
I was talking about it like last hour, And the show is heavily a shonen trope, has a lot of shonen tropes, right? But doesn't mean in well doesn't mean when specifically it's going to happen. So the tropes just happen when A, the author wanted to put it in there, or B, whenever if the animation at least they decide to put it in there. So it's not like one specifically is it's not one which episode it's going to be. It's one specifically the author or the animation company is planning to put it there.
All right. But yeah, the series does get a little darker on episode 3 because it does have like, okay, so the CPUs could die, and then episode 4 and 5 is like pretty much like the outcome. But then 6 to 12, they go back to pretty much being the whole shebang, shaboom, shaboom type of thing that the Neptunia series is known for. If you have played the Neptunia series, then you may enjoy the series. But if you've never played the Neptunia series, then you may not enjoy it. So otherwise said and done, I'm gonna kind of wait. Is it gonna be me that performs news, or are you gonna perform news?
You. I'm kidding.
Yes. Okay. I was gonna throw this pen at you again.
How many times have you thrown the pen?
Hey, violence.
Says the guy who throws a pen at me. Do you have anything else to throw, like your girlfriend? Oh wait, you don't have one. I forgot.
You don't have one either. Ah.
That burn.
No, cause I think it's the carpet. Welcome to the most unprofessional show you'll ever hear on the internet, kids.
A small guy. Anyways, in some news,
Again.
man arrested for selling fake Miyazaki Shinkai sketches.
Wait. Oh. I thought it was gonna be the one with the Nintendo Wii.
No.
Oh.
I saw it, but it didn't really catch my attention. Oh, and this article is kind of short, so if you guys want to read it, you guys can read it on Anime News Network. But I'm just going to read one paragraph out of this. Okayama's Prefecture Police Department arrested and employed 32-year-old man in Hino on suspicion of fraud on Wednesday. The man was allegedly selling autograph illustration by internet auctions and claiming that were created by Hayao Miyazaki and Makoto Shinkai. So if you guys want to read this article, you guys can head on Anime News Network.
I was gonna say like redirect the link to the Twitter.
I thought you were doing that.
You. Okay, I'll do that.
Boom.
I'll get it when I get the chance right now.
Anyways, pick it up.
All right. So pretty much to kind of segue now over to the second, because the next part, Love Life School Idol Project. I've only seen season 1 still, and I still have not seen the second season. Huh? No, like the first series, not the upcoming series. While Gus goes off to get his little mocha frappuccino again. You are. The amount of professionalism that we have here is so amazing. I love it so much. But yeah, Love Live School Idol Project. This is an idol anime that aired from January 6, 2013 to March 31st, 2013 by Studio Sunrise. And pretty much the whole plot of this anime is as follows. Otonoki Kazaki High School is in crisis, with the number of enrolling students dropping lower and lower every year. The school is set to shut down after its current first years graduate. However, second year Hanaka Kozaka refuses to let it go without a fight. Searching for a solution, she comes across a popular school idol group known as A-Rise and sets out to create a school idol group of her own. With the help of her childhood friends Umi Sonoda and Kotori Minami, Hanaka forms Muse to boost awareness and a popularity for her school. And that's pretty much the whole synopsis that you need to know. And what's actually kind of interesting is that the name Muse is actually or how can I best explain it? Is actually a meaning for Greek mythology. Yeah, Muse means something in Greek mythology, which means to kind of go into GreekMythology.com about the Muses for just a little bit, because you're going to learn something as soon as this site loads up. The Muses were the Greek goddesses of inspiration in literature, science, and arts. They were the daughter of Zeus and... What? Minnosoni, the personification of memory, and they were also considered water nymphs. Some scholars believe that the Muses were primordial goddess, daughters of the Titan and Gaia, personifications of knowledge and art. Some of the arts of the Muses included music, science, geography, mathematics, art, and drama. And pretty much, to kind of summarize it, it's pretty much 9 people. That's what Muses is all about, with a little bit of Greek mythology. So everybody learned something new today. Unless your name is Mr. Gustavo, then you learn absolutely nothing. But yeah, otherwise, and then
Haha.
you little. They kind of got me a little bit there. I jumped. Love Live School Auto Project. I just want to say this. I have felt motivated from this anime. It for the pretty much for the 13 episodes that Love Live School Auto Project has produced, each episode had pretty much like, okay, so we're gonna have this girl join our group, and pretty much we're gonna form the idol group to save our high school, and it becomes that the anime of, can this anime be called inspiration, or not inspiration but like motivating?
Which anime?
Love Live.
Well, it depends on what are you planning to pull off. Because if you say that this anime is motivational, like I might end up expecting more for like group idols to like be like creating group idols, because in Japan group idol groups are quite popular compared to here in the West, right? So I feel like they are trying to inspire girls to join those idol groups more than, hey, this is this, so I'm trying to motivate you to do something better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to help in some sort of way, you may want to be part of something big, right?
All right.
Because who doesn't want to be famous in some point in their life?
I want to be famous.
It's an example, right? So why not?
I want to be just like Miley Cyrus when I grow up.
I want to be like Justin Bieber.
Oh, I can't even think of a Justin Bieber joke right now.
Copyright claim.
You just see like a sign just comes out of nowhere.
This show has been copyrighted.
The amount of stupidity that we go for on this show is beyond the levels.
Potatoes.
Cupcakes.
Anyways, continue.
All right. So yeah, Love Live Squad Project. No matter how many times I've seen like the ending of the show, I've always cried, to say the least. No joke. I've cried every time I've seen like the final scene, like when here's the thing, like Hanukkah said in I think episode 3, because I can spoil this anime. It's been like, I don't know, 3 years since now, 4 years.
You shouldn't.
Hey, at least I'm not spoiling Danganronpa, because by then many people might go after me for that.
Yeah. I'll be holding the torch. It's a witch.
It's a witch. Burn.
Anyways,
Burn
continue.
them. But yeah, otherwise said, to get back onto whatever I was talking about, because Mr. Gustavo is by far.
The best co-host ever.
Can there be a award called the best co-host? I don't know. I can't think of a joke now.
Continue.
I can't think of a joke. Somebody help me.
Just continue.
Okay. But pretty much the whole anime, I do know first season's pretty much the formation of the group, and season 2 is pretty much the struggles within being in the group, because to kind of spoil it, I am fully aware that this season focuses, or this second season, oh wow, I see Joey out there.
Just continue,
Okay.
buddy.
The second season of Love Live School Idol Project is focusing more on, how can I best explain it? The challenging in the group, and pretty much it allows the amounts of things that happens within the anime. Now, I do know with Love Live Sunshine, to kind of give a brief synopsis of the anime, even though I've only seen one episode of the anime, is that the main character, I don't know who the main character is, but they form a group called Aquas, and they try to follow in the footsteps of Muse. So pretty much they're trying to become like what Muse were. But it doesn't really work to that, because they were following them. You have to become your own idol group so that you can prove to be something. And that's how I see Love Live School Idol Project. or I see like how the Love Live series is, and I do know about Love Live Sunshine getting a second season. I don't know when it's confirmed to come out. I think it's either in
I think it's in October, like around fall season.
yeah, so it's gonna be coming around in the fall season, but that doesn't mean to say the least that who knows what's gonna happen with Love Live Sunshine. First season looks like to be focusing on, hey, we're gonna try to replicate the Muse's former glory, and try to see if we can gain that attraction, and then maybe the second season maybe second season's gonna be like, oh, we should pretty much learn to be our own individuals, to say the least. And that's how I pretty much feel about Love Live School Idols with the Love Live Project series. Oh god.
Oh my goodness. that was something.
Were you live streaming on your phone?
I'm not.
Oh man.
I'm not.
I would have loved to see you. I need to check. I'm gonna check the footage to see if it actually caught you on your reaction. Oh my god, that was so beautiful. So to anybody that didn't see that, pretty much the lights were turned on and Gustavo had just I think he just got jump scared for a second.
I didn't get jump
But
scared.
you got like scared. I think you got like jumped. I don't know how to best explain my sentence here.
The light.
Yeah. He's like trying to look back at the footage.
No, it's not. It doesn't show.
Damn it.
Boom.
Oh my god, that was so far a great moment. This is I think the second moment of Carnival Animation that I was laughing that much.
This show will never air.
This show will air. We were a bit more professional than we were 2 weeks ago. Wait, was it?
So it's a guy who's never professional.
Hey, again, I own the title of unprofessional.
Anyways, continue, unprofessional kid.
Okay, I think one of the things I kind of want to bring back is like, I think let's see, today's the 13th, the 27th. So, what I plan on the 27th, I'm kind of trying to do this. You want to kind of give like a first impressions on like the series like as a whole.
I think our first impression is not like a really great thing to say right now because our first impression is like let's say like around 3 episodes, right?
So like, what about the mid season?
The mid season 8 I think it should be kind of okay.
Okay.
We can say like what shows are we like enjoying the most
Okay, so I think we'll do that. We'll have like a mid season.
next week.
Nah, we need to get ready for finals.
Like I think I'm pretty cool with finals. Like one of my finals is basically cook for my class and talk about it.
You're taking a cooking class?
No,
Aw, I was gonna say, can you bring me some food?
I mean if you show up on the 22nd, you can have some if there's any left.
22nd is my birthday. You know that.
I mean the 23rd. My bad.
You little day changer.
No, it's on the 23rd. I'm dead honest about that.
Aw. But yeah, pretty much like my finals is set only on 22nd, and that's it. I'm done.
Like you.
I know. I mean, I already finished my English finals already. She's just like, okay, everybody, finish your writing assignment and you can leave. I'm like, yay.
Like you.
I know. So pretty much, I think like I'm gonna look into like some anime that we haven't talked about, because I think like there's some anime. I think you didn't do Clockwork Planet.
Clockwork Planet, I'm currently watching it.
Yeah, but did you talk about the light?
I didn't talk about it because we run out of time. I mean, there's some
I
shows.
mean, right now the next step is the wind down, so you can do whatever you like for that last half an hour.
I mean, it's your hour, so I'm
I
going to
mean-
be into that.
So pretty much, to kind of give a brief example of what's happening with the spring 2017 anime.
Let me guess, you're run out of things.
No, a little bit. But to kind of give a brief synopsis with the spring 2017 anime, there's been, I think I've only contractually been watching 6 anime so far, with being Seikano How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend season 2.
I haven't seen the first season, so I can't really talk about that one.
Yeah, I know, and I've seen the first season, and I liked it. I'm watching Rinai Bokuin, which has turned out to be my favorite comedy anime of this year, or of this year's anime.
I mean, I don't plan to say that it's my favorite from this season. I think I already said which one is my favorite already. But it has comedy in it.
Yeah.
I'm not planning to say that. I mean, if it wasn't because of the comedy, I feel like this show might end up being a little bit terrible.
Yeah, but as the article I read on Anime News Network, it's like, what would you think if Death Note was a comedy, type of thing. I think that's how Anime News Network had it a while back. But that's the other anime that I've seen. What was the third one? The third one was Hanako no, which I actually need to get back into. I may actually do a restart with the series so that I can actually rewatch the series from beginning to end. I'm 2 episodes behind with the Rokodenshi, but I think the episode I'm on, they're doing like the what's it called, the games.
Yeah,
Yeah, the games is like,
I think you're like an episode behind for that.
That's that, and then I'm watching Frame Arm Girls.
Okay, if you guys don't know, I used to like update it or keep up with Fremont Girls, right?
Mhm.
I used to post like, I don't know, like small things here and there on Twitter, because on Twitter you can really put a lot of words into it. Like there's at least 116 letters max. So that's why I don't really put like big things like, oh hey, this episode happened this and this and this, right? So this is not like that. If you guys don't know, that's one of the shows that I personally drop. Drop. The show is not bad. I'm not planning to say the show is bad, right? The show is good its own, but for me,
It's not your cup of tea.
I personally don't really find the appeal. True, it's cool, it's cute, it's entertaining, it has battles in it, and if you guys are interested on the bunny shots, I mean, you can go for it. But for me, like, it's not something that I can say I enjoy a lot. Like, I enjoy it, and in a level, but it doesn't really hook me up.
All right, so it's now 11:30. We're gonna hit up one news, and then we're gonna go on a quick break.
Oh, news?
Yeah, 11:30, 15 minutes.
Oh, after you want to say, oh, we're gonna break. I'm like, hold on a second, we're missing something.
I know. See, I thought of it.
Anyways, once again, if you guys want to find these articles, you guys can go to Anime News Network and find it there. Anyways, manga publisher discuss legal actions against upload site, and this is interesting mainly because a lot of people read manga or watch anime on illegal streaming sites, and by discussing this is just something that, at least in my opinion, is quite interesting. So I'm just going to read one paragraph like I previously said. So if you guys want to find it, then go for it. So it says, several Japanese publishers, including Kodansha and Shogakukan, are discussing legal procedures against a site called Freebooks, which allegedly allows users to view and share manga, magazines, and books without their copyright owner's permission. Okay, so here's the thing. I was imagining the big picture, which was like I don't know, as an example, like Kiss manga or Manga Fox or stuff like that. That's like pages I was thinking about, because those are like the biggest manga uploading websites that I personally know, or from what I hear. And Freebooks, I never heard of it before, so I don't know if free books are like, hey, we have this, you can have that, right? I mean, it is established saying that viewers or users can share manga, magazines, and books, right? But I don't know what degree. And the only thing that, or the major thing that personally I messed up is that they don't ask for permission. So I don't know if if this website is actually making money out of that, which I personally think it might end up being bad news for the website. I mean, what do you think of it?
So like they were uploading the stuff on. I know I can't find it. I'm so. This is May 9th to say the least. Yeah. I mean, like it was May 9th. I looked at your little article. I was just like, okay, it should be on the thing, but it didn't really show it. But from how it says, I'm gonna move over to your mic to read the thing. This is a little. This is like nostalgic reasons. Let's see. Are discussing legal procedures against a site called FreeBooks, which allegedly allows users to view and share mangas without their copyright owners.
Oh, you're reading stuff.
I have
Getting smarter.
forget you. I don't know how to give a brief
Found
explanation. Congratulations. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on a break, and then when we come back, I'll give my honest opinions of this article. We'll be right back after these messages.
Peekaboo, peekaboo, smile.
And we are once again back on Carnival Animations on KXVS, the voice of Stockton. My name is Josh Arago. I am your host for the second hour. So pretty much from this article that I read during the little break here, that's the title of the last year. You know, I do actually have to agree on Gus because there are other manga publishers that have pretty much have been. I don't know if they're allegedly if they are being attacked, if they are pretty much going after this site, other than like the other sites that Mr. Gustavo has mentioned already. So. My opinion is I don't know if they are paying for the thing. If it is, then it could be a problem. But for the most part, I really don't know. All right, so it's been a while since we've done this type of thing. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna read a top 10 while there's pretty much noises going on out there. I'm gonna read to you guys the top 10 school anime. Wait, have I read this already? I have not. Okay. Have I? Oh, I had. Oopsie daisy. Wrong top 10. Yeah, I was looking up a top 10 type of thing. Top 10 comedy anime. I think I haven't done that one yet. Top 10 comedy anime. Will it lead me to another buzz? Whatever the thing is called? Honey's anime.
Harems?
Huh?
You mean harems or comedy?
No. Comedy anime.
Okay.
So the top 10 comedy animes. This was back on, looks like August 26th. So here are the top 10 comedy animes. Let's see if almost anybody would ever know these. Golden Boy from October 1995 to June 1996. Oi Kentaru is a brilliant young mind. Huh? What?
What's number 9?
Oh, just. Wow, I thought you told me to read a little bit of the synopsis here. Number 9, Skit Dance from. Wow. Number 9 is Skit Dance from April 2011 to September 2012. Okay. Number 8. Okay, this should be easy. Beelzebub. Beelzebub? Beelzebub?
And what do you think of those 3 shows?
They actually look very interesting to say the least. Like from Skit Dance to the other anime, which is Golden Boy. That is so old school.
Okay, so Skate Dance, if you guys don't know. Oh yeah, where are you reading that anyways?
Huh?
Where are you reading that top 10?
Not Honey Feed, Honey's anime.
Okay, so Golden Boy is a show that's kind of old, so I haven't seen it, so I can't really say anything about it.
Mhm.
Skate Dance is basically like some sort of a small group of 3 students that are trying to help their school, if I'm not mistaken. I saw like at least 1-2 episode out of that, and that was it.
Mhm.
Beelzebub is surprisingly interesting.
Uh-huh.
I I mean, the show it reminds me to like the first season of Katekyo Human Reborn. But overall, the story is like, hey, this is a comedy show. We have gags here and there, right?
Oh no.
Overall, this is a shonen anime. This is how I feel basically.
All right. So number 7. Oh, this is
Come out this guy.
is that still going?
It's not.
Oh. Okay, so this must have been before like the thing. So Sakamoto Desuga, I think like what I've heard is that it's supposed to be like a card game or something.
No.
Oh.
It is like comedy anime.
Ah.
Gag, basically.
Okay. I thought it looked like it because like with the picture it looked like to be like this guy's like wielding cards, like I don't know. All right, number 6. This aired on April 2016, but it hasn't gotten like an updated type of thing. Number 6, The Great Teacher Onozuka,
Also like Onisuka.
the animation.
GTO basically.
Yeah. I can't think of a joke with GTO. Um,
Dragon Ball.
if it was GT, I was like Dragon Ball GT. Nobody wants to remember that series.
Nobody wants to remember that series.
From June 1999 to September 2000, which had 43 episodes. Pursuing the Dream, World's Greatest Teacher. Aww. I want to be the world's greatest teacher. Well, how do I have to do to become the world's greatest teacher?
Anyways, continue with the thing.
Number 5. Hataraku Maru-sama, the Devil Part-Timer.
Donovan loves the series actually.
He's actually outside. I think he was outside. Hatakaru...
Hey Donovan. Come here.
He's just like...
We never said we were professionals.
We are not professionals, so... We have...
Let's ask Donovan since he enjoys the show.
Your mic was not even on.
Oh wow.
What are we asking, John?
Take a seat.
The top... So, I went on and looked up the top 10 comedy anime. And number 5 on our little list here, or on the little list over at Honeyfeed, was Hataraku Maru-sama, which is The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh, that's a good one. I've seen it.
So, can you give us a little bit of a...
That's his favorite, by the way.
Is my mic on?
I think your mic.
Yep, my mic's on. Okay.
I think mine was.
Let me think. The Devil is a Part-Timer. It's a good show. Kind of a little on the nose about a lot of things, but you know, it's kind of like a stereotypical regular life, you know, young adult, you know, coming up, getting a job, doing school, and then some like mythological and mystical things happen. They get sucked into another world, and then they sort of like that becomes part of their personal life. But it's really good though. I mean, it's interesting. It's funny. There's some surprising like morals in it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like terribly inappropriate or anything, although it had its, you know, bits of it. But I don't know. I think it was a good show.
We are not worthy.
What happened?
I don't know.
That description was worse than mine, to be honest.
Was it? No, it was a good description. No.
Like I feel like that description was all over the place.
I was gonna say like he can manage to be professional. Well, we can't be professional.
No, I feel like his description was slightly better than yours. Anyways.
All right. I'll continue with number 4 here because I skipped a little. Number 4 that was released from July 2014 to September 2014 with episode 12. Gekken Shoujo Nozaki-kun.
Boy. Okay, so basically the anime is that guy who Nosaki-kun basically is an author for a girl's magazine. I think he's a manga artist.
Uh-huh.
So he draws for the company, and a lot of people think that the artist or the author for the manga is a girl.
All right. In number 3,
Nishijo.
Nichijo.
Nichijo.
2016 from April 2011 to September 2011.
Yes.
I haven't seen Nichijo, but from what I hear is that the show is kind of good.
How did I get in here? What happened?
I don't know. That's the funny thing.
It just happened.
I disappeared.
It just happened.
Suddenly I'm in here.
Yes.
You know,
I mean, I was expecting a use as a comedy thing, like Donald comes in, like, what are you guys doing? and just like walk off.
Like what Joey did. He went like, he turned on the lights.
That wasn't got caught on camera, so.
Well, it got caught it got caught in my point of view when I was laughing.
You were laughing about it, but it wasn't on this camera.
Yeah, I'm sad. All right, so number 2 is I think everybody's personal favorite.
One Punch.
One Punch Man. I didn't even know that was actually a comedy from 2015.
It's a comedy basically. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Continue.
Your punishment is I'm gonna throw a pin at you.
It's a 2015 anime.
Uh-huh.
And
Is it confirmed for a second season?
it is.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like around summer or fall, if I'm not
Alright.
mistaken. But basically, I mean, it's a comedy because I mean they're making fun of superheroes.
Aww.
Because let's be honest, Superman can defeat. Well, he can defeat people from one punch, right?
Mhm.
But he doesn't do that.
Alright.
Batman can do that. So basically, Saitama is basically a regular guy who can defeat anybody with just one punch.
All right. And then the number 1.
The king of trolls, Gintama.
Jinx.
I owe you coffee. I have mine in the fridge. You can have it.
This had from April 2006 to March 2010. And pretty much what I've known from Gintama, I think he also breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
So
He makes a lot of comedy. He even has like some skits making fun of other shows like Dragon Ball or I was gonna say Boruto.
Boruto.
No,
it's
or
called
Bleach.
Burrito.
Bleach. I think if I'm not mistaken, Naruto also.
Naruto.
In different news, by the way.
Sorry, I have so much homework to do, guys. I have so much homework to do. I have to get out of here. I'm sorry, but I love the show. Thanks for having me on here.
I can tell that.
Can you tell? Because I have just so much ridiculous amount of homework. Finals week, guys, really coming up.
Yes.
Studying so hard. Gus is giving me looks. You know yourself how much homework I have to do. You've been talking about it this entire time. I'll see you guys.
Okay, anyways, Beast Media Europe to presents a Silent Boys Joaquin Watch movies at Cannes Film Market. And once again, this is part of the Anime News Network. I sorry for like heavily give you guys like Anime News Network related stuff.
I mean, that's like because I wanted to do Crunchyroll news.
I mean, pretty much are the same thing. Most I think. I feel like Anime News Network cover most of
Just
stuff.
look at my face and just wonder.
Yeah. Anyways, BS Media Europe announced on Wednesday that it will present the anime film A Silent Boys and Yokai Watch the movie at the Cannes Marché du Film Market in conjunction with the Cannes Film Festival. A Silent Boys will screen on May 19, May 22nd, and May 23rd in Japanese with English subtitles. Screening dates for Yokai Watch the movie has not been announced.
All right, and already like what we know so far with the silent voice is that
It's based out of a manga.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen from some people, because like I put on some reviews, is that the ending is bad, but I still want to see it because I mean I feel like this movie looks super appealing, and visual wise and story wise it looks new. I feel like it's a newer fresh when it comes to story wise or tropes wise, because if as an example if we put Your Name or Makoro Shinkai Kimi no Nawa, we might say, hey, that movie is similar to some tropes that we see, right? But overall, it's different. It's something new. It has their bad points here and there, but that's like any other movie. And I feel like this one is going to be the same thing. In some point, the movie is going to be bad. And I'm glad that the ending was, I think, they have a weaker ending more than the whole story was bad. Because if the whole movie was bad, then nobody would be interested in the movie.
Yeah. And pretty much looks like I'm looking at the highest grossing film of all time. Kimi no Nawa is on number 7 with $354 million.
Oh wow!
But the number one.
The most funny thing is that from rank number six to rank number 1 is Disney movies.
Yeah. Well, actually, the number 2 is the Simpsons movie.
Yo.
So number 2 would be the Simpsons, and then 1, 3 to 6 would pretty much be all Disney films. And does anybody know that The Lion King is getting a live action remake? I'm not joking.
I'm sorry. I feel like just turned that out. Anyways, The Lion King is, well, The Lion King. I can't really say anything about it. I mean, I'm thinking they're going to have a lot of CG modeling. Because if we put as an example of Twilight, even though that movie for a lot of people is like the worst movie.
But I loved it.
I'm just going to give this an example. It's just an example. I'm not saying that the movie was great or bad. I'm not really interested in that movie. Anyways, going back to the topic, I feel like they're going to have the same way as the Twilight. They're going to have like a green suit, and they're going to like animate the whole thing as a CG. And speaking of CG, Kato is different now, so I recommend you guys to watch it.
Who?
Kato.
Kato?
Kato.
Wait, who's that? Oh, Kato. I thought you were doing something. Kato. Is that? I think that's an anime. Kato, the right answer?
Yeah.
Ah.
So my question is, from at least for that anime. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna leave that question until the end.
We got like around like that 9 minutes, so you can have a little bit of time. But yeah, that's something.
So you want to talk about Lupin the Third?
Yeah, let's have a look in the third. I mean,
You're googling it. That's why I'm asking.
stop screen peeking, you stinking person. That's why I don't want to play Call of Duty with you.
I don't play Call of Duty.
I don't play Call of Duty either. So pretty much Lupin the Third. So far, I may watch the anime like when I get home. I don't know which one I should start off with first. I might look it up. But pretty much after watching him in the in the versus Detective Conan movie, I like how he's resourceful, to say the least.
I mean, he has a lot of gadgets and places. I mean, that guy is rich technically, because his grandfather Lupin was a thief also. So I think it runs in the family. So all the things he has, like all the money and everything, is basically received from his grandpa.
Wait a minute. I need to. Oh.
What?
No, because like I was thinking, because like I thought I heard the Lupin name before, and I was like, Arsene? Because it actually had the name, because it said Arsene Lupin.
I honestly don't know how his grandpa name is. I mean, I'm aware of that his name is Lupin, but I don't know like specifically like how his name is.
But yeah, pretty much to kind of get into the thing with the Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan. I like the fact it was almost like when it's Kaito Kid versus Detective Conan's, like they have like a gentleman's agreement too, that they will not get any. Even though like Lupin, I think he's based in. I don't know where Lupin is actually. I think he's in Italy.
That's a 2015 version. The original version I think is set up in Japan.
Okay, I was gonna say like where's Lupin's actually like main base of his everything, because I think like with him and Conan, like at the end of the movie, they said like what Kaito Kid and Conan has like a gentleman's agreement.
I mean, basically, Conan and earns Lupin the Third respect, because before the movie there was an OVA featuring Lupin the Third and Conan. I think that it was more like a test before they released the movie and see how the audience received it. If it was up by receiving, then
They would have not made it.
Exactly.
And I'm just gonna say this: I did actually like the two different animations that they had, with Lupin the Third having like their individual animation and Detective Conan having their same animation.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it is that when Is that when, like, I feel like they were debating which animation they were planning to do, because Detective Conan is a different animation. I feel like it is a unique animation compared to the rest of the animes. I mean, it does hasn't changed to like a moe bloppy kind of thing. It's just like a serious kind of anime style. It's kind of like Dragon Ball Super, right?
All right.
That it doesn't have the moe tropes in it. It has a classic feel into it. Same thing as Lupin the Third, which I personally enjoy.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Lupin the Third, the animation is slightly getting modified since I think the 60s, if I'm not mistaken, or the 90s. So it's different. I mean, they keep the same Lupin style, but it has changed. But the years, trying to be more adaptable for the viewers in visual wise.
Yeah, and I just want to say this: like Lupin's personality, I actually kind of like it, since like he shows like he doesn't. Because what I heard, like he breaks the fourth wall, because from the movie, it's like it does show him breaking the fourth wall a little bit, but like his personality is like, how can I best describe? I think I mentioned this earlier. Like his personality reminds me of like a energetic character, like an energetic thief.
Well, he's basically an energetic person, because I mean he steals a lot of stuff, so he needs to be energetic. He needs to be smart,
Yeah.
because his rival, I forgot his name.
Inspector Zenigata. I think.
Yeah, Inspector.
Just look up Lupin.
Senigata.
Zenigata. Yeah.
Senigata.
I was so close.
I was keeping track of him. Like he's smart. He knows what he plans to do. Like he's like basically Lupin's brother, quote unquote.
It's almost like Kaito and Conan.
Basically,
Aww.
but Lupin the Third has been out longer than Conan.
Yeah.
So I feel like when it came to the development for, I think this is going to be a little sidetrack, but when it comes down to Kaido, I feel like he got some things out of Lupin.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
I'm just gonna say this now. I forgot what it was, but like, it was. Oh yeah, it's the end. I'm gonna spoil the ending for the the special, the first crossover event for Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan.
You mean the OVA?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the fact like they didn't like when they all met Conan individually. They instantly realized, oh, this guy must be this guy's not a kid, because how can he have these types of skills?
Detective.
Yeah, like a detective. So there's like, okay, and then Lupin just throws out his name, Shinichi. I'm just like, huh.
I mean,
It's non-canon. I know that for sure.
I mean, from when it comes down to Lupin, he knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the original series back in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like around episode 2 or 3. There was this guy who was able to magically make fire, right? To use flame torches like that, and be able. He won't be able to get burn, right? So Lupin learned that there was an equation behind that. So he learns about the equation and created himself, and he imitated the same guy. So that proves how smart he is.
Yeah.
He's not just a random thief that goes like, I don't know, house to house. It's stealing like jewelry, like just random jewelry.
All right. So you want to give out your question before we take off?
Well,
Because we have like 2 minutes. Because I forgot what because you said you had a question and then you were gonna say at the end of the show.
yeah. So, what's the biggest step to make humanity greater or better? Because on Caro the right answer, and by the end of this week's episode, he say the next biggest step to make humanity better is something. But I'm not planning to spoil it in case you guys are not watching it or are planning to watch it. So yeah, if you guys know what it is, then let us know on Twitter at Carnival Animate.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna end off the show here.
What was the question, Josh?
The question was like, how's the humanity something with Kato?
What makes human?
What makes humanity greater? Or what makes humanity?
Yeah, what makes humanity better?
Oh, okay, I was close with the greater. So what makes humanity better?
If you remove or erase something,
Okay. I have no answer for that.
you need to watch episode 6 for kind of the right answer.
Well, we'll see what happens next time on Rick and Morty.
So yeah, don't forget to follow us on Twitter if you guys have any questions or anything. So can you repeat what I said?
It's what's
No, can you repeat what I said right now?
Carnival Animate. Follow the show on Twitter at Carnival Animate. You're getting me confused with the Kato answer.
Kato, the right answer. Just say the right answer.
The right answer. Okay. Gustavo will be at Al's comic book place, I think, and I'll be.
What can I say? I'm a nerd.
Okay, we're out of here like shrimps.
That was a bad reference.
I know it was. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Or maybe next week if plans change.
Next week, probably.
Yeah, we'll see if plans change.
It's a 50-50 combo.
Yeah, I'll update on Twitter.
If you do.